Hey, what is Emily? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. For the past couple weeks, I have been doing a ton of 300-piece puzzles for this video. It is another battle of the brands. We have 10 different brands that we will be talking about today, and they're 300-piece puzzles. Now for me, I love 300-piece puzzles for a few different reasons. For one, I do have RA, so some days I'm super achy. Back in May, I had a big flare-up, so gripping standard size pieces sometimes is not physically possible for me, and oftentimes 300-piece puzzles have a easy grip or like a larger piece size that makes it easier for me to do on some days, which I know that's the case for some of you as well. I also like 300-piece puzzles when I'm doing maybe a trickier image, something that's out of my norm. It helps me with strategy without having to deal with the larger amount of pieces and having to deal with like piece management. I also like that it doesn't take me too much time, so maybe if I only have an hour in the evening to puzzle, but I don't want to leave a puzzle out overnight, I can do a quick 300-piece puzzle. It's going to take me maybe 40 minutes, maybe an hour and a half, but it's not a huge time commitment. And that also, I often use them as like a way to get back into puzzles. Sometimes I get in those ruts where I'm just like, I'm not in the mood to do a puzzle. I don't want to do a 1,000-piece. Like that doesn't seem like something I want to do, but oftentimes I can convince myself to get into a 300-piece puzzle, and that often will lead to me doing more and more puzzling. So for me, it has served a great purpose in my collection. I love 300 pieces, and I did a ton of them here to kind of compare them. It was almost like my own personal quest to see which ones I liked, which ones I didn't. I just wanted to compare the different brands, so that's what we're doing today. I'll link what I can for these specific puzzles down below. A couple I did borrow, so I'm not sure if they're still in production, but you can at least get my opinion on the brand and the brand quality. So I'm just going to get into this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you're new, I would love if you subscribed, and let's just get started. First brand on the docket is Ceaco. I did this one recently called 100 Years of Music and Wonder, and I have done several other Ceaco 300-piece puzzles in the past as well, and I have to say it's not my favorite as far as the piece quality. It often seems to be pretty crumbly. You can't move two pieces at once. They're nice large and charged pieces, but they are very thin, and especially when you get to more of those like licensed products, which is really great that they have so many options for like Disney puzzles and such. But I have noticed that those ones, even though the images are so cute, they don't have the best of quality. So for me, I haven't really loved them. I have been able to do them maybe a couple times, but they definitely show wear pretty easily because they don't have the best of piece quality. So I just wanted to give you my opinion on them. You can find some really fun images, and they tend to be pretty affordable, but it's just, I feel like there's better out there for your money. So just wanted to bring that one up. Next up, we have this one here, which is by Colorcraft, which I don't think I've ever done before. And box is really nice. You know, it's a nice size box. It's really sturdy. It is made in China, in case you're curious, but it is a US based company. Image, super fun, very bright, very colorful. My issue for this one though is that the pieces don't lie flat. So when you're looking at it, I don't know if you can see it from there, but I'll definitely put up close-ups. But while you're doing the puzzle, they kind of all like lift up from each other. So when you're putting in a piece, like a corner picks up, or like you're putting another piece and then the other corner picks up, they just don't lie flat, even though the piece quality feels amazing. They all kind of like bow, and it's not my favorite. And for me, I'm really critical when it comes to my 300 pieces because I want to make sure they last lots of use. For me, I am someone who does my 300-piece puzzles more than once, sometimes 5, 6, 7 times. And so I want to make sure that the quality is definitely there to make sure I can get that amount of use. Because if you're spending $18 on a puzzle for 300 pieces, I want to make sure I still get a lot of puzzle time. And that's not necessarily me doing it once, it's me doing it over and over. So I wish it was better because the image was really fun and the pieces again feel nice, but they have some issues, and unfortunately this is one I wouldn't recommend. Probably one of my least favorite out of the bunch out of this group, but I swear we have some really good ones. We just started off with 2 that I'm just like not huge fans of, but let's move on to the next one. Next up we have is Masterpieces, and I have another one in this stack as well because I have really been loving their stuff recently, and recently I purchased this one here, which is called Magical Journey, which is one of my favorite images from 2022, but I had a 1,000-piece version of it from a different brand. When I saw that the Masterpieces has it as a 300-piece, I grabbed it real quick because I love this image so much. It's such a fun, happy puzzle. You know, you have some hot air balloons, you have this like artwork that is coming to life, like the book is coming to life, and it's just like, It's so much fun to look at. As far as the piece quality, it is lovely. They're a nice thickness. They have a bit of a shine to it. So if you're someone who is working with different lighting, it can be tricky. Like for me, if I have lighting off here, which I do because I film, it makes it very tricky to see on the far side of things. But if you don't have that type of lighting, if you're just using overhead lighting, it's not too bad, but it definitely has a shine to it. The piece quality is really great. It is a ribbon cut style, but it has like a little bit of a change to it, a little bit different. I have done another one before that had more of a whimsical style of piece, so it definitely varies depending on which one you do, but I really like the images that I've done, and the piece fit is fantastic. Like I can pick this up with one hand. It just stays together really well. Sorry, I just put it down really badly. You can usually find them on sale or a couple images on sale. So if you aren't too picky about image, they have some really great deals over there. I mean, it's good, it's affordable. It does come with a poster inside, which is nice, but it's not so massive that it's like really hard to work with. I just have been really liking this brand a lot. Would definitely recommend this one. I think I got this image on Amazon. They also sell it on their own website. I've been liking it, so far, masterpieces. There's this one. I have another one from them in here too, so I'll show you that when it comes to it. Next up we have is this one by Buffalo Games called Hexagon Multicolor Bee, and I love this image so much. This is part of their sustainable line, which I'm not too sure what makes it different, other than it doesn't have plastic packaging inside, and the glue that they used is made with a biodegradable glue. It's also made with recycled cardboard, so there are some really great benefits to this one. The image is really fun. It's just like a rainbow style gradient where it's like these hexagons that kind of go from blue to yellow. I like the piece cut. It is a ribbon cut, but they kind of have like this like edge to it, like this little like pointy edge to it. So I really liked how they're a little bit different. They are a good size. I feel like a little bit smaller than masterpieces, but they are still bigger than standard size pieces. So I don't know if this would be like the go-to one that I would do if I was like on a super achy day. I would need a little bit larger, I think, but they are good enough. You know, they're still a little bit easier than standard size. It does have a nice thickness to them. It does have a nice fit to them. I can definitely pick it up if that is what you are wanting. I like this one a lot. You know, I've done several Buffalo Games in the past, and I feel like if you can get it on sale, that's where they shine. I don't know if I'd spend more than $12 on these ones. I think they normally retail for around $12, but I've definitely gotten them for like $8 to $6 to $4, depending on the site, depending on the day and puzzle. So if you can find them on sale, I would definitely recommend these. They also last pretty well, but I feel like not the best as far as like using them over and over and over, just because I think for this puzzle, it's kind of the piece shape where it has those like very pointy edges, which sometimes can pill up from the image when you do them over and over. So something to keep in mind. So if you're going to be doing them a ton, it might show signs of wear a little bit sooner than some other brands, but I have one called Up, Up and Away, which I've done so many times. It's definitely showing signs of use now, but that's after like 6, 7 times that I've done it. So just something to keep in mind if you are getting a Buffalo Games puzzle. I have another one that I'll show you in a little bit from a different line, but I really enjoy this one a lot, and if you can find it on sale, it's even better. Next up we have is Kodak by Rose Art. I did borrow this one, so I know it's gotten at least a couple uses beforehand. I like the image. It's just a fun little donut puzzle called I Love Donuts. I think it's super cute, very easy, very quick. I do like the piece size. It's a little bit bigger than the standard size, but not super, super big either. Also showed signs of wear, which again, it's been done a couple times before me, but you can definitely see a lot of the corners are starting to show a little bit of use. So something to keep in mind, but it was fun. It was nice. I do feel like it's a little bit on the edge of when you're doing it, it like picks up on one side, but it is lying mostly flat as I'm sitting here like running my fingers across, but you can definitely see there are some bubble actions happening. You can definitely tell there's a lot of pieces that have a little bit of cardboard picking up. So I don't know about longevity for this puzzle brand, but I think if you got it on sale, maybe if you just take really good care of your puzzles, it might last you a few uses. I haven't done a lot of Rose Arts in the past, so let me know your thoughts on them. I feel like I've heard mixed opinions, but I'd love to know, again, what you've been doing. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Next up we have is Ravensburger, and I have 2 different versions to talk to you about. So the first one is this one here, which is part of their large piece line. So this one is called Night Owl Hoot. I've done this one a couple times. beautiful quality. Like, I can't fault it at all as far as quality goes. The pieces are large and in charge, definitely the largest out of all of them. For me, this is the thickest pieces. It's also the largest pieces, so it definitely is helpful on days that I am having a little bit of issues, but also it is the highest price tag. So these ones retail for around $20 to $23 depending on the puzzle. It is a really nice box. It feels luxe, it feels luxurious, you know, it's nice and high quality. You can definitely tell when you're just rubbing your hands across it, everything fits really well. It has a nice ribbon cut, so well executed. I love the image, I love the quality of the pieces, like everything. I really can't fault it at all, other than it is on the higher price point. I sometimes can find them at thrift stores for a little bit less, so I do really like them, and I don't mind sometimes spending that price tag, because for me, I do them again over and over and over. And one of my puzzles I've done about 8 times from this brand, and it looks brand new. Like, there's no issues whatsoever. So that's why I don't mind spending a little bit more on my 300 pieces sometimes, because I know it's going to get a ton of use and they're going to be able to last that amount of use. Really enjoyed them. I like that it's a little bit more on the matte side. I feel like a lot of them have leaned a little bit more shiny, and this one is definitely easier to work with certain lighting. So I like this one a lot, and would definitely recommend it. Now, moving on to the other versions that Ravensburger carries are these guys from their Puzzle Moments line. They're in their smaller box, and they also are standard size pieces. So if you want a 300 piece puzzle for the aspect of like maybe trying a different strategy, or you don't have a ton of space, this is the one to go with, because they are a much smaller footprint. You can do them in a very small amount of space. I can do them on like one of my puzzle trays, which is really great. So if you're doing it in front of a TV or something like that, or you're doing it away, or if you just, again, don't have a ton of space, this is a great one to go with, because it's like half the size of these ones. And they are still super fun to put together, regular standard Ravensburger quality. So I've been really enjoying these. I have 4 of them already, and they're just fun to do when you're, again, you want that 300 piece element, but maybe you just don't need the larger piece sizes. This is a great option to go with. Next up we have is White Mountain, which I didn't even know that they carried 300 piece puzzles, but they do carry a few images. This one here is no longer available from what I could tell, but they do have a lot of other ones to choose from, which is really great. They retail around $18, and they are their extra large pieces. So they are, I feel like, a little bit smaller than Ravensburger, but they are still a nice size. So here's the image of this one. It's just called Baking. It's just like a nice little fun scene, as if you were to bake biscuits or something. I think that's what they are. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different baked goods here. I like this one because it has like a very interesting like piece shape. I thought the piece quality was really great. Nice large surface size. It does have the purple blue board backing, which if that's something that you're into. Again, I just like the surface size. I like that they lie completely flat. Like, there's not a single corner picking up. It feels really nice. So I know this one has gotten a lot of use, because people have signed the back of that box. So I know this one has gotten a lot of use, and it definitely shows like it's brand new. Like, it would stand up the test of time, and it would stand a lot of people doing it over and over. So this is a brand that I'm like, maybe I should get more just to see what it's like to have a brand new one. It also has a nice little poster inside. Like, I really like this one. I feel like it's very similar to my feelings towards Ravensburger. It is definitely more of a ribbon cut style of image, but the piece shape just makes it a little bit different, a little bit more special. And again, it would last a lot of use. I like this one a lot and would definitely recommend it. If you can find them, I would definitely recommend them. Next up, we have another one from Masterpieces called Carnival Parade. Super fun image. It is on top of another one, but super fun image. This one, though, I did have some issues with. I did like the final image, super fun, very bright and colorful. This one, though, doesn't lie flat, and it's not as bad as the Colorcraft, where it's like almost everything is like lifting up. There's definitely a lot of them, and it's noticeable to see that this puzzle does not lie flat. When you're running your hands across it, you can feel like every single puzzle piece is just like a little bit lifted. So not my favorite as far as quality, to be honest, and I feel like it's much different than the other one that I did. So I don't know if it's just like a one-off or just something to keep in mind, that maybe you may have some that are a little bit more raised, or have like the nubs have a little bit more of a lift to them. Just want to be honest with that one, but I did like the image a lot. It is super fun. A little bit on the too shiny side for me, but nothing too bad. Next up, we have a very unique one, and this one is by Cobble Hill. Theirs are 350 pieces, and this is their family style. So this is a really fun concept, and a couple other brands have also done it that I've seen, where you have one singular puzzle, but it's 3 different variants as far as piece size. I'll put on the screen what the largest piece size looks like and the smallest piece size. We also have like a medium in the middle, and this is great for those who want to puzzle with somebody else. Maybe you're puzzling with children or someone who needs larger pieces, or maybe someone who's a newer puzzler, they're not really used to it, but you're someone who speeds through things and you feel like you're going to do the majority of the puzzle if you is all those larger pieces. This is great because it kind of goes from larger pieces to smaller pieces. You can both work from your own end and still probably make the same amount of progress, which is great. The ones over here are massive. These are like the biggest size pieces that you would ever see. Like it's a huge, huge piece. This one also is a whimsy style. So if you're wanting more of a free form puzzle piece style, this is definitely the one to go with. A lot of the other ones tend to be more of a ribbon cut. This one's a little bit more wonky. Definitely has some challenging things. I liked it a lot. I like that they do have that option. I think it's great that they have the option where you can like puzzle together and it doesn't seem like you're taking over or you have to hold back, because your side is just as challenging as the one on the other side. So I like this one a lot. This one is called Thanksgiving Togetherness. I like the piece texture. It has more a linen-y type of texture, more of a matte style of piece. I really don't have anything negative to say if this is something that you're looking into. I really liked it. I don't remember the price point. It might be a little bit higher up there, but maybe it's something you guys can do like in the evening after dinner. This next one surprised me of how much I loved it. Now this was part of a set, but this one is called Playful Gnomes. They also have this set in a 500 and a 1000 piece, in case you're curious. The 300 piece set is the newer one, so I think it's only available on their website as I'm filming this. But I did this summer one when I was doing a live, and it has the 4 seasons. So there's the 3 gnomes, but the 4 different images, which is really fun. What I liked about this one was the piece shape. It definitely is on the wonkier side of things. It made it a little bit more challenging. So if you want to do a 300 piece because you want maybe a different piece size or something, or you just want a smaller piece count, but you still want maybe a little bit more puzzling time, this one made it a little bit more challenging because the piece shape was so crazy and wonky. It has a pretty standard amount of shine. I like the piece coloring a lot. I love this image. It is so much fun, so much stuff to work with, but nothing too chaotic. I really liked it. This is probably one of my favorite as far as images go that I've done from this whole batch. I thought it was super fun. I loved it. I really can't say too many negative things other than it's a little shiny. I've done several other bits and pieces ones in the past as well, and I have enjoyed every single one. So it's definitely a brand I'm taking interest in. As far as the piece size though, it's a little bit on the smaller side as far as like the larger easy grip style of pieces, but it's still a little bit larger than standard size. So there's that. And then finally we have this one, which is also Buffalo Games, but it's from their Blanc line, which is a little bit different. So the box is a nice and luxe feeling. I feel like it could be a nice like on the bookshelf type of piece of home decor, which I really appreciate. Inside we have a reusable bag, which is nice, and it also comes with their poster, which is great, and the box is just like nice. Like this one feels more luxe and a little bit different, like they put a little bit more thought into it, and I'm considering getting more, to be honest. I think it's $2 more than their regular Buffalo Games, and I just feel like it feels just higher end when you're looking at it just for the box design. I have done this one twice already. It's super fun. I like that it's more of a mature style of image. I feel like sometimes 300 piece puzzles can lean a little bit more juvenile because it's a lower piece count. Oftentimes it's maybe geared a little bit more children, where this one's just cocktails. This one's called Rainbow Cocktails. Definitely an adult style of image, and it is a little bit more challenging, a little bit of a chaotic style of method for me. I didn't have too much of a system going into it. Again, I've done this one twice and I've really liked it. The piece fit is really nice. The pieces are also a little bit different where they do have a paper backing, but it makes it feel like it's a little bit nicer. I don't know how to explain it other than that, but when you look at the back, that is just a white style of backing, which doesn't hinder it at all. I've taken this one apart and had no issues. So this is definitely a line from them that I'm very tempted to get more of. I want to see what other images they have, because I think, again, the images just are geared more towards adults. I like the style of the box a lot. So that's my thoughts on this one. Definitely one I'm eyeing out. I had the puzzle pieces out in front of me, just thought I would give you a little bit of a recap of the pieces themselves. So for me, the nicest ones were the Ravensburgers. They're a nice standard size piece. They are nice and thick. They're nice and large and in charge. I like that they're matte pieces. The Cobble Hill one also is really great if you're buying a smaller count piece because you want the larger size pieces. Just note, there are very drastically sized different pieces in this one. I also really enjoyed the White Mountain piece shape. I feel like the shape is a little bit different. It lied completely flat, a little bit on the shiny side for me, but just standard size. Another call out is the Bits and Pieces. If you want some wild shapes as far as piece shapes, I would go with the Bits and Pieces. If you want something that's not ribbon cut, you want something maybe a little bit more challenging, but also really fun images, definitely one that surprised me. And as far as the other ones, like the Kodak, the Masterpieces, the Buffalo Games, they tend to be all pretty similar. I feel like for me, the standout would be the Blanc puzzles from Buffalo Games, just because of the image selection and the box quality, and it just feels like a little bit more luxe than their traditional stuff. So as far as my top recommendations, or the favorites that I had from this video, first up we have is the Blanc line by Buffalo Games. I just feel like this one just seems a little bit different. Most of it is in the box design. Like, it just seems a little bit more luxe. You know, I could have this out on a shelf and it's not like screaming puzzle. You could have it on a coffee table. It just seems nicer. I like that the image is definitely geared more towards adults. I like the coloring. It is on the shiny side for me, but I have really enjoyed it. I also think that the paper backing gives a little bit more of a sturdiness to it, so it's easier to grab than a traditional Buffalo Games puzzle. I just really enjoy this one a lot. Definitely something I'm going to be considering getting more of, or take a peek of interest on, you know. Next up we have is this one by Bits and Pieces, just because the piece shape is so unique, and I felt like it made it a little bit more challenging. I still think it's a little bit small as far as piece shape goes, so if you're wanting those like jumbo size pieces, probably not the one to go with. But if you may be wanting a little bit more challenging than your traditional 300 piece puzzle, I would try it with this one to maybe experiment with a different piece shape. It might help you out a little bit if you go into larger piece counts that have that similar style. So I did really like this one. The image is also super cute. Love that it comes in a set, but the quality is still there. So I have done other 300 piece puzzles from them in the past, and I feel like it's very comparable. Like, there's no issues, you're not faulting on quality because you're getting the set. So just something to keep in mind. Next up I have is the White Mountain. I am very interested in seeing other images that they have because the quality was fantastic. It definitely seems like it's going to be one that I can do over and over and over again without it having issues or any signs of wear. I like the piece shape a lot. It's a little bit different than your traditional ribbon. It definitely is like ribbon, like you can tell that it is, but the piece cut is just a little bit different and something I enjoyed. It's definitely one I am taking notice on and considering buying more. And then of course we have Ravensburger, which, yes, the price point is definitely there, but I'm someone who, again, does my 300 piece puzzles over and over and over, and I know these ones stand that amount of use. So quality definitely is there. I like the images. I like the pieces. I feel like it's the only one that had nice, true matte pieces, which makes it so much easier for filming or from doing it at night with some weird lighting. I won't have any issues. So it's going to be on the pricier end of things, but you can find it on sale, find it at a thrift store. Definitely a great find. So those are my thoughts on all these puzzles. I really can't go wrong with pretty much most of them. I love a 300 piece puzzle. I'd love to know your thoughts down below, or which one of these called out to you, or which brands that maybe I've missed. I would love to know your thoughts. I know I've done Pomegranate in the past before, but I'm not sure if they're still selling their 300 piece puzzles, but let me know if that's different. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I at least hope you thought it was helpful. If you're someone who does this piece count, you just wanted suggestions. I had so much fun with this. I had so many fun puzzles this past week, and I hope you enjoyed it. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. I hope you have a fantastic day and are doing well, and I'll link all of what I can down below as always. But thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!